very self. I have a media background, and of course, I support media freedom because I continue to practice media. Actually, we must take stock what happened.
Yeah, what happened?
And when we take stock, we begin to understand what is actually happening right now. We have a newspaper that came out and made a statement. Though, as you have said, they've reached out to the office of the spokesperson of the National People's Party to get their side of the story. I didn't see much that was said by them, but the media house still continued to go ahead with the story. The following day, I spoke to them in person and invited them to my office, and I made a reaction. And other media outlets, other media houses do a similar thing. But Fatou, let's look at the rejoinder of the story, where Voice newspaper featured me. The last paragraph of that statement, of that story, continued to say Mohamed Jah, in fact, is traveling to New York, to the United Nations General Assembly, to be with the president. If you understand that, means whatever we said, they are still saying that is not true.
I'll let you
so
finish.
There was nothing that was said by the Voice newspaper to say what Seedy Ceesay have said, stands that the story is false. But even though they brought that story up, they continue to mislead and misinform the people of this country, and more particularly...
By saying that he was traveling to New York?
Huh?
By saying that he was traveling to New York?
Yes, to go and meet the president.
How is that misinforming? How is that misinforming?
They are putting doubts, continue putting doubts in the minds of the Gambian people. They are saying, any citizen of this country can travel to the United States. We have no problem with that.
Absolutely.
But to say that he's traveling to the United States, to New York, to the General Assembly, where the president is, and to associate and to continue associating with the president. So where do you stand?
Well, he's traveled with the president to so many different destinations to start with.
No,
but
Mr. Manneh, let's understand. Let's understand.
Let him finish.
The president has already left for the United Nations. He's already there. The CEO of Q Group is in this country. Choose to do his business. Until yesterday, he's still here. Has not gone to the United States. The president is flying back. And the Voice newspaper continue to make that statement that the Q Group CEO is going to the United States to meet the president. I think that is a bad test for a press, where we are making a reaction to say what you have reported is false. But you continue to misinform the Gambian people that no, all what MPP is saying is false.
No.
Because Mohamed Jah is traveling to the United States, and because he has to go and continue to have those dealings, with President Barrow.
Seedy, he's not there. The story did not say, the story is not, that is your own interpretation.
No.
That is your interpretation.
Can you bring this story?
That is your interpretation.
Yes.
That is your interpretation of what they said.
That is exactly what they said.
They availed you the opportunity to tell them what exactly happened.
Yes.
Just like Kirfatu did and Standard newspaper did.
Yes.
You clarified that that is not true, it's false, this is not true.
Yes.
Now they went ahead to say they stood by their story, what they reported. Now you can say it's false, but if they believe that they have credible information to say, we believe this, and they keep saying, they want to back it up to say, in fact, Mohamed Jah will be traveling to the United Nations to join the president and the delegation. If they say that, that has nothing to say that what you have said is false. They are only saying that they still believe that Mohamed Jah is going to continue this.
No, they're basically saying what we said is false.
I don't think, no.
It's false.
No, I don't think that.
No, that's what they're saying.
No, I don't think so.
That's your opinion.
Okay, that's your opinion.
Yeah, that's your opinion.
Okay.
And clearly, after our statement, to say what the Voice have reported was false, they continue to misinform the people, and we stand by that. And for President Barrow to take a legal action to asked his attorney to write to the Voice newspaper, and I think that is within his rights.
No, he's not.
No, of course, it's within his rights.
All right.
Look,
all right, I'll come back.
I have serious problems with this. If these guys seem to have touched a raw nerve here. They touched a raw nerve.
Because
the thing is, why is the president so sensitive about this? The journalist saying somebody is being groomed to take over from him, so what? If it's not true, say it's not true. Do you need to take him to court for that? Really? He's been traveling with the president to all over the place. He's been with him to Saudi Arabia. He's been with him to China. He's been to so many different places. If he's going to New York...
Like other business people.
Let me finish. If they say he's going to New York and he's not even going to New York, he's here, it's simple to say, no, that's not true. Mohammed Jai is here, he's not going to New York. You don't need to take anybody to court for that. For me, this marks of intimidation of the press. And this is something that we've been seeing coming for a long time. And we've got to get out of this, because this is where we keep backsliding now. Because we were, for a long time, moving away from the Jammeh era tactics. If we start again taking journalists to court because they wrote a story that's not true, I mean, the president should be able to rise above that. This is just a story written by a newspaper. You don't agree with it, just say it's not true, it's false, and we leave it at that, we move on. You don't need to take him to court for that. If you take him to court, it's your right. You don't need to, but if you take him to court, this is a civil matter.
Yeah.
Why do you have to bring in the criminal side? What did they do criminal?
I don't know.
What did they do criminal? You want to take him to court for libel? Take him to court for libel, and let you fight it out in court. But as you said, why does the police have to inject themselves into this? This is a civil matter.
I think it's quite premature, Mr. Manneh, as we speak now, to talk about the police, because I mean, you just informed us that they've been informed, they've been invited at the police station regarding what?
It's common sense that the police
but if the story has not come out,
and the reporter that wrote the same story, the police invited both of them.
Both of them.
What would you think they invited them?
If the story had not come out, would they have been invited to the police?
What have they been
Probably
invited
not.
for?
What do you need to understand? When police invite somebody to a police station for questioning, like you have you said earlier, we must allow them to do their investigation.
Of course. So, but we are free to criticize as well.
For us to sit here now and say the police should not invite them, or why should they go to the police, or why should the police get involved, I think that is quite premature right
now. Well, we just have to say,
we will hear about the outcome. We will hear about the outcome, but it's most probably going to be linked to this. And that's what we're saying. If it is linked to this, if it's not fair,
until I see what happens.
If it's not good, if it is not very good.
If that is the case, if the police are questioning about this, do you think it's right for the police to do that?
I don't know the substance that the police are looking for in this case.
No, I don't think we should start looking for the substance
this is
here.
A civil matter.
No.
I think
yes, you may claim it is a civil matter, but they are invited, so let's allow them to do their investigation.
No, I think what we should say is
until such a time
should watch out and not give this impression of being intimidating to the press.
Mr.
If it is not, great, but that is marks of that. Mr. That is what is here.
Mr. Manneh, you lived in a Gambia that is free, no fear, no intimidation.
Yes.
Well, I don't know if I can say that right now.
Why not?
Because I am going to continue to speak up.
You see,
I am going to quote sources. I am going to continue quoting sources.
Is our constitutional right.
If the president is going to take us to court for that,
but how many stories have been run by Ker Fatu and all other media houses quoting sources?
It's going to start somewhere. It just started.
No.
Come
on. What we have seen is a newspaper acting irresponsibly, and I would say that.
I would disagree with that.
Okay, that's your opinion.
I would disagree that it's not true, Uncle Seedy, because I don't think it's irresponsible. Number one, the principles of the media in journalism, they have biased reporting. They quoted their source. They also made sure they reach out to NPP officials, in fact, 2, and quoted what they said. Now, that is fair and balanced reporting. You cannot say that it's irresponsible.
I agree with you on the lead story on the first day. So when we made a reaction and bring in our reaction, and also for them to continue to misinform That's what I'm saying.
So this is you call it misinformed, but you don't know where they're getting this. And what they are saying.
But it's open truth now that whatever they are saying was false. Because the person that they are claiming was living in this country still remains in this country.
But then, okay, now we are diverting from the fact that it's Mohammed Jah is in the successful plan. That is different from now you're saying you don't have a problem with that story, but you have a problem with the second one.
No, listen to me. The issue here is this is not about Mohammed Jah. This is not about an individual, Mohammed Jah. The Voice newspaper wrote about Mohammed Jah. Fine. And we made our position clear. Yeah. But the president felt that what the Voice did was actually wrong. They are defamation. And he has all his rights, within all his rights, to make legal case against
my question is, in the initial report, what exactly is defaming the president? Exactly.
Everything that they wrote, Fatu, was defaming the president. You saw what our attorney wrote. You can bring the letter of the attorney, and the attorney have...
And I want to come to that.
Yes.
They said that these are mere speculations, and it's embarrassing to the president. President Barrow last week said he is going on a rematch with Ousseynou Dabo. Yes. He speculated because he doesn't know if Ousseynou Dabo is UDP candidate. What is that defamation?
I believe Ousseynou Dabo is UDP candidate. I believe Ousseynou Dabo is UDP candidate. Yes, Ousseynou Dabo has made
exactly. That's speculation.
No, it's not speculation.
You believe.
It's not speculation. I can tell you.
Let me go. That is just one.
No, you can take it to the bank. Take this down. No. Take it to the bank. 2026, Ousseynou Dabo is the candidate for UDP. Take it to the bank.
But that is a speculation.
It's not a speculation.
And second one, let me bring you a second one. Let me bring you a speculation. That's your principle.
The gentleman
in the voice. It is not a speculation.
The gentleman in the voice can also tell you Mohammed Jah is going to be the candidate. Take it to the bank.
It's my
that's speculation too.
That's speculation too.
How do you
Mohammed Jah is not a card holder of the National People's Party. He's not a member of the National People's Party.
Not a UDP, you're NPP card holder.
Yeah.
Let me come to the second one that
let's go back to where you said.
Hold on a second.
No, Mr. Manneh, let's come back to this one. You said the president said 2 weeks ago he was going for a rematch. Yeah. And now the Voice is saying, in fact, no, the president is looking for a successor. Yeah. Yes. Right? Yeah. If the President Barrow came out and said to his supporters and sympathizers and members of the National People's Party, I am going 2026, and in turn, somebody is writing something different, will I believe President Barrow? They are putting doubts in me, and President Barrow is not one I doubt. I believe in him wholeheartedly.
But Ousseynou Dabo sat on my show here, and I asked him, are you going to run? He said he doesn't know until during Congress. Yeah. If President Barrow comes to us and tell us he's going on a rematch with Ousseynou Dabo, he is speculating. He doesn't have the facts.
Fadu, I don't come to Kerfadu to talk about individuals and that. Let's discuss. But I know, Ousseynou Dabo, with all respect to Ousseynou Dabo, let me help you here. With all respect to Ousseynou Dabo, with all respect to Ousseynou Dabo, he came here and said he doesn't know. But subsequently, Ousseynou have manifested and shown interest to run 2026.
So what?
No, there's no, I'm not against that. That's why we want the rematch.
I'm only telling you the variation here.
Because if you say he has manifested interest, so what? That doesn't mean that he's going to be selected. It's still a speculation on your part. So this other gentleman can say, my speculation is that there will be Mohammed Jah. And you'll have
no,
2026. No, let me finish.
Let me finish. Go ahead.
You'll say, you wait till 2026 to see if I'm wrong, if it's speculation or not. But the thing is, you're telling me that will make us doubt President Barrow. But President Barrow has done so many things that has made us doubt him. This is the man who said he was going to go for 3 years.
That's your opinion.
And he went for 5 years. This is the man who said he was... Look, President Barrow gave us so many promises.
Can I help you,
No, I don't need your help.
No, I need to help you. I need to help you because I think you have forgotten.
Make your point.
You have forgotten.
But you don't make
You have forgotten. You have forgotten. You know why you have forgotten? Your very leader today, Ousseynou Dabo, was the one who stood in front of the wall to defend President Barrow for 5 years.
Yes,
that's true.
Yes.
So you cannot come here and look at my face and tell me President Barrow ate his words. No, Ousseynou Dabo ate his words.
Because Ousseynou might have made that mistake and he accepted.
You call it mistake?
Yes, he did. But Barrow made a commitment. He made a commitment to the coalition. If he wanted to honor his word, he could have. but he reneged on it.
I'm glad that you said he made a mistake. I'm glad you said he made a mistake.
And I said that
so let's move on. Let's move on.
But not only, no, excuse me, Fatu, not only he reneged on that, but he had Gambians arrested, jailed for reneging on that promise. He made several promises here in this country that he reneged on. So why would he not renege on this other one too? So this man, gentleman saying this is his opinion from his source. That does not warrant him being taken to court. This is just a journalist like anybody else who is commenting on something. So we have to get to a point where we put those things behind us. But I think the whole problem is this man touched on a raw nerve.
Mr. Manneh, when you talk about journalists taken to court, as you are living in a bubble. If you live in this world,
living in a bubble.
I mean, that's basically you are
something like this.
You are telling me taking journalists to court.
It's alien.
If journalists do not act within the dictates of their ethics,
you work for freedom. You work for freedom, and you had said things which could have at the time.
One thing, I had so much respect for you, and I got to know you even because I knew that you are my uncle. It's because of the work you have done in defending human rights.
Yeah, and absolutely. And I still stand by that. I still stand by that.
You work for freedom, and you say things which have been found outrageous.
But let me come, Seedy. Let me come to this particular issue. Why is it a problem for us to talk about leaders having succession plans? For example, it's okay, for me, I remember when I saw this, I'm thinking UDP should have taken me to court when I had Yankuba Dabo here. Because ngamin for Usainu Dabola succession plan to Jang. Kabringa Yankuba Sojan 2 weeks ago. I went back and I watched it. I'm like, did I say all of these things? But that's how I felt. I felt, even though I'm not a member of the United Democratic, they should start thinking about that. This is a conversation citizens are going to have about UDP and NPP.
Absolutely.
Why is it so bad that when we talk about your succession plan, let me tell you, what I know from NPP, the plan is, Mohamed Jah is one of them, Barrow, Demba Sabali is one of them, Seedy Ceesay is one of them, and who else? There's somebody Malafu for. Let me just keep that name. These are people that all come in for court. This is okay to have these conversations.
Let me help you.
What is wrong with us having this conversation? President Barrow at one point will leave, and you guys will have other candidates.
Let me help you.
Why is it wrong to have these conversations?
I want to say this.
I
want to make this statement. As young as I am, as old as I am, I've seen Sadauda, I've seen Jammeh, and I've seen Adam Barrow. I've never had where Sadauda said, if I leave this position, I want a PPP person to take it. Until when he got to Masakonko said, I want to go. I've never had Yaya Jammeh do the same thing. President Barrow has been had on numerous occasions that I would like to hand over the baton to an NPP.
Yes.
So he is aware that he is not going to be there forever, and he also believes that for the first time in history that somebody in NPP will succeed him to break another record, because he has break a record of defeating a dictator that no one thought an election can get him out of this position.
Fair enough, true.
Yeah. So another record that President Barrow is going to break is somebody from NPP will succeed.
Is it going to be Mohamed Jah?
It's not for me. I don't.
Is it going to be Seedy Ceesay?
For me, I don't see Mohamed Jah, because for me,
my brother that I cannot name?
Our formula is simple. You have to be a card holder of the National People's Party.
This is touching a nerve. Mohamed Jah. What is the problem?
It's not about Mohamed Jah.
I mean, I'll be worried if I'm Mohamed Jah. If I'm your brother, I'm your friend, and I'll be worried.
For public disclosure.
Let me say Mohamed Jah so disclose No,
it's not more. Listen. Let me help you. For public disclosure, I have a very good relationship with Mohamed. I think the whole Gambia.
We all know that,
Not only that I work for them, I was offering them my service. But even before that, he said, I'm part of that family. We are good buddies. We are good friends. We dine and wine together. You understand? And that's not likewise. I dine and wine with so many people in UDP and other political. This is small Gambia. The gentleman sitting before me is my cousin.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. So we should not get hung up with this Mohammed Jah thing, or let's roll it.
That's where
it's a newspaper. It's a newspaper that did not report.
If you're not going to get hung on that,
they have to
then you better drop this issue of taking this gentleman to court, because it's just said that it's so simple, so trivial. You see, I think you guys have to get to a point where you've got to be able to accept criticism of Barrow and do it yourself. I just said here Ousainou made a mistake.
Manneh.
No, let me finish. I just said here Ousainou made a mistake, because from my point of view, when Ousainou came out of prison, he was not privy to the agreements that were made with the coalition partners. And he came and said, no, if anybody, and he was reacting from the point of view of a constitutional lawyer. And what we said is, yes, as a constitutional lawyer, that is the law. But what the coalition decided was something different. And when people criticized him for that, he accepted. So there is nothing sacred about Ousainou. We can criticize him, we can disagree with him, and he's a very hugely democratic guy in the country. Barrow should be able to take criticism like this, which is so trivial,
every day.
So why this trivial issue is being blown out of proportion?
Mr. Manneh, I don't want to sit here.
Why do you want to blow this out of proportion?
Let me just. I don't want to sit here and try quantifying what Ousainou said, what Ousainou have done wrong. You know, for me, that is not my problem.
But that's the thing.
No. Because we have seen where Ousainou have called out journalists. You have seen that. No, listen to this. We have seen that. We have seen that. We have seen a lot of things that is done.
The journalists are not a special breed. They can be called out. But what is wrong?
But he went too far. I don't want to get into this nitty-gritties
to court.
No, Mr. Manneh, listen to me. I don't want to get into this nitty-gritties of what Ousainou did right, what Ousainou. You know, that for me, it's not my issue. No, Gambia for me, Gambia is what this case is what we're saying. If you want to bring Ousainou as a debate, we'll debate about Ousainou. But that's not an issue for me. Put that aside.
All right, let me come here. Let me come here. I think for me, what Mr. Manneh said, I keep saying to Ousainou and every other person, Ousainou is one of those people who got us here. For example, when he endorsed Barrow to go for 3 years, we all said, why would you say that? 5 years. And we all called him out for that. And I am one of those people who continue to call him out for that. Yeah. Also, when he called out the journalists, we called him out. Now, if we are calling Barrow out today for taking this journalist to court, we are within our rights because we feel like that is a threat to our press freedom. And I think these are things
not just the press freedom, but individual
because the reason why we're talking about Barrow and Ousainou, these are the most high-profile politicians in our country. Whatever they do matters so much. They have a lot of following. And I think for me, the police, I've said this on my show, Seedy, a lot of times. And, sometimes I get emotional about this because my staff have gone through this. Bora, we all know what happened to Bora. Bora was picked up twice, just making a comment about the president, and he was thrown out. He was kept beyond the 42 hours, 72 hours, and he went to court and win the case. And people have said so much things against us. Even yesterday when I interviewed you 2 days ago about this Barrow issue, and we talked about how President took Maimouna Baldé, the women mobilizer. We went back and forth. They don't know our relationship, but we went back and forth on that interview. I woke up last night, I went to the YouTube. Nganyada hainam pam. Fatu ture Maimouna la sama tole fa officiate. Ye insult long ya lonne. Maimouna Baldé la sama tole fa officiate. Ikante ne mina mamre ka moneng. Ikawo mone wala sai. But for me, I do understand that I'm a public figure.
Exactly.
And my job comes with this. I criticize people. Who am I for people not to criticize me? One time I remember Sally and Bora had a show and they criticized somebody. I'm like, you guys had a platform. You had thousands of people. You were talking about this issue. For one person to write a show about you, you're getting no. We don't have that liberty. We're in the public arena, and the president is the president of the entire country. We are going to defame him in the process of doing our job. We are going to hold him accountable because we will not do defaming intentionally, but sometimes we can do it not knowingly. But the president to take us to court,
no, but Fatu, what you need to understand here.
Yeah.
Your opinion about President Barrow asking his attorney to write to the Voice newspaper and the police to do their questioning, you are within all your rights to do that.
Yeah.
Mr. Manneh is within all his rights to do that. I'm also entitled to have a different view. of what you guys believe.
True.
But I also want to tell you, President Barrow, Mr. Manneh have seen from PPP to date, President Barrow so far, all the three leaders we have, is the most tolerant president. Let's give him that. And I was young.
I disagree with that.
I have a different opinion
I disagree with that.
Okay,
Jawara was by far
President Barrow called me out my media house on the biggest platform, presidential platform. Democracy
Exactly.
What does he mean by that? He defamed my platform, my hard work, a woman who is employing over 20-something. He defamed me.
Not just
he made me look bad.
How you defame?
You know, defame Nyadira.
Come on.
Seedy, let's not give examples.
You are not being defamed.
I was defamed.
Every now and then.
President Barrow could have picked any media house and said, and we all talked about it.
He singled out Kerfatu
We all
and
knew
Caring.
before 2026 that collectively we fought. Just wait a minute. We all know before 2026 and 2016, we collectively fought for the freedom that you, Mr. Manneh, and I can sit here with Kerfatu and Fatu to discuss. Openly, right?
We fought for that, yes.
Collectively,
yes,
including President Barrow.
Yes.
He put his life there,
yes,
his resources,
yes,
his time,
yes,
his family,
absolutely,
everything. So let's give him that. And also, let's pat ourselves on the shoulder that we've done something.
Let me
explain.
to the Gambian people.
Yeah, let's do that. And
we're to the Gambian people collectively.
I say collectively. We cannot do it alone.
Yeah.
We do it collectively with the support of the whole world.
Yeah.
We have to accept that. We have to accept
because
that.
What
and two, let me finish. When you talked about PPP, as young as I am, I've seen the SIS here then. I've seen it. I've seen the days of Moja here. I've seen how people have been picked up, how people have been fired in their jobs. We don't want to go that way. We want to build a system that you and I can be proud of. And that's the system we have now.
What system has not been built?
That is built.
Let me give you an example. The court gave an order. The court gave an order that the IGP and this government was wrong in detaining Bora. The court asked them to compensate him. They refused. You know what? The court asked them to give him his phone. That is not even government property. The government up to now and the office of the IGP refuse. Then we don't have that system, Seedy, you're talking about.
If you don't have the system,
if the police,
if you don't have the system,
who is the law enforcement body of the country, are not simply adhering to court rulings, how do you call that a system that we want?
The system that you are saying you don't have is your choice. If a court make an order and that order is not respected, go back to the very court to execute that order.
Really?
That's what I will do.
Okay. Really?
And that's what I will do. And that's what everybody should do.
Okay.
So you cannot sit here.
That's what everybody should do.
Yes.
But that is part of what we're denouncing, because this should not happen. Because if this gentleman or this gentleman, because now I understand there are two, gets sentenced for this, for whatever reason.
No, why are you prematurely making a vast statement on this?
You were procrastinating and forecasting.
Come on.
So
Mr. Manneh,
unless I finish,
you must limit your understanding of this
unless
issue.
I finish what I'm saying,
okay,
see where I'm going.
Go ahead.
Okay. If this gentleman gets sentenced for this, and we say, well, no, they should have gone to court again, they can go back and challenge, etc. Why won't we just be a lot more fair play than this? Than take these people to court. This is the gentleman who stood here and said Mahdi Jobate is a threat to society in front of Muslim elders. Yes. We're gonna handle this. Yeah. It took a lot of protest for that to stop.
That was a lot of
every now and then he comes to Kerfatu. Every now and then he goes to Pamodu Bojang in Brikama, etc., etc. Why do you constantly have it in for the press? Why do you because you cannot.
The Mahdi one that was the position.
Mr. Manneh,
you said I was not.
I think
you are the guys who paid 40 million to the press to make them sing your praises. So the ones who are not singing it, you have to intimidate them. Is that it?
There is no press intimidation in this country.
Well,
Come on, bear with me.
What is it then?
How many radio stations?
What is it then?
Emerged from 2016 today?
But they just no license for us to have.
No, if you don't have a license, of course, Fatu, come on. There's nowhere in this world you can be broadcasting without a license.
No. Say you license or you cancel it.
No, come on.
Now.
It's not like they cancel it. There can be embargo on stuff.